Hello, my dear children. Welcome back all over again. We'll be continuing with chapter number 4, Ratio and Proportion. I hope you all are fit and fine at your home by the grace of God. Let us learn something about continued proportion. If A upon B is equal to B upon C, then A, B, C are in continued proportion. If AC is equal to BC square, then dividing both sides by BC, we get A upon B is equal to B upon C. Therefore, if AC is equal to B square, then ABC are in continued proportion. When ABC are in continued proportion, then B is known as geometric mean of A and C or mean proportional of A and C. The following statements convey the same meaning. Number 1, A upon B is equal to B upon C. Number 2, B square is equal to AC. Number 3, A, B, C are in continued proportion. Number 4, B is the geometric mean of A and C. Number 5, B is the mean proportional of A and C. When we can generalize the concept of continued proportion if A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to C upon D is equal to D upon E is equal to E upon F, then A, B, C, D, E and F are said to be in continued proportion. Now let us see a video to understand it.
Equal ratios simply mean proportion. We say that the numbers 1, 2, 4, and 8 are in proportion. 1 and 8 are the extremes, and 2 and 4 are the means. The product of the extremes is always equal to the product of the mean. If A, B, C, and D are in proportion, then A by B will be equal to C by D. We have also seen another type of proportion. 4 by 8 is equal to 8 by 16. Both ratios equal half. Do we say that 4, 8, 8 and 16 are in proportion? We say that 4, 8 and 16 are in continued proportion. When P, Q and R are in continued proportion, we can say that P by Q is equal to Q by R. Let's move to a new page. We saw that if P, Q and R are in continued proportion, then P by Q is equal to Q by R. The product of the extremes is always equal to the mean proportional squared. Here, P times R will equal Q squared. Now here's an interesting question. Can four terms P, Q, R and S be in continued proportion? Of course. If P, Q, R and S are in continued proportion, then P by Q will equal Q by R will equal R by S. Looking at these two ratios, we can say that PR is equal to Q squared. And looking at these two, we can say that QS is equal to R squared. What if 5 terms are in continued proportion? Say P, Q, R, S and T are in continued proportion. It's simple. Then P by Q will equal Q by R will equal R by S will equal.
So children, I hope you understood something from the video. Let us see the solved examples which is there on page 74 of your textbook. Example 1. If x is the geometric mean of 25 and 4, then find the value of x. Solution. X is the geometric mean of 25 and 4. Therefore, x square is equal to 25 into 4. Therefore, x square is equal to 100. Taking square root from both the sides, we get x is equal to 10. Therefore, the value of x is 10. Example 2 on page 75. If 4a square b and 8ab square and p are in continued proportion, then find the value of p. Solution: from the given information, 4a square b, 8ab square and p are in continued proportion, which is given. So we will write in fraction form. Therefore, 4a square b upon 8ab square is equal to 8ab square upon p. By cross multiplication, we get, therefore, p into 4a square b is equal to 8ab square into 8ab square. Therefore, p is equal to 8ab square into 8ab square upon 4a square b. Now solving that, we get 16b cube. Therefore, the value of p is 16b cube. Example 3. Which number should be subtracted from 7, 12 and 18 such that the resultant numbers are in continued proportion? Let x be subtracted from 7, 12 and 18 such that the resultant numbers are in continued proportion. As we don't know the number, so we are assuming x as a common number. So, 7 minus x, 12 minus x, 18 minus x are in continued proportion. Therefore, 12x the whole square is equal to 7 minus x into 18 minus x. Using the formula a square minus 2ab plus b square, we will be expanding 12 minus x the whole square. So we get 144 minus 24x plus x square is equal to, we will be multiplying the binomial, that is 7x into 18x. So we get 126 minus 25x plus x square. Taking the like terms and solving them, we get minus 24x plus 25x is equal to 126 minus 144. Therefore, x is equal to minus 18. On the next part, 7 minus x is equal to, we are substituting the value of x in 7 minus x. So, 7 minus x is equal to 7 minus minus 18. Minus of minus, we have to do addition. So, 7 plus 18 is equal to 25. 12 minus x is equal to 12 minus minus 18. Minus of minus, we will add. So, 12 plus 18 is 30. 18 minus x is equal to 18 minus 18. Minus of minus, we get 36. Now, 30 square, as 12 minus x is the mean proportion, so its value is 30. So, 30 square is equal to 900. And 25 into 36, that is the first term and the last term. 25 into 36, we get 900. So, they both are equal when we cross multiply. We remember that. So, 25, 30, 36 are in continued proportion. Therefore, if minus 18 is subtracted from 7, 12 and 18, the resultant numbers are in continued proportion. We will be learning about K method. The K method is used to solve examples based on equal ratios, that is, equal proportions. In this simple method, every equal ratio is assumed to be equal to K. Now let us understand this K method by the solved example, which is there on page 75 of your textbook. If A upon B is equal to C upon D, then show that 5A minus 3C upon 5B minus 3D is equal to 7A minus 2C upon 7B minus 2D. Solution: let A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to K. Therefore, if we need the value of A, so we will take A upon B is equal to K. So therefore A is equal to BK, and if we need the value of C, then we will write like this: C upon D is equal to K. So C is equal to DK. Now the value of A is BK and the value of C is DK. Therefore, substituting the values of A and C in both sides of the equation in LHS, so we get 5A minus 3C upon 5B minus 3D is equal to 5BK minus 3DK upon 5B minus 3D. As K is common, so we will take K out as common. So K into 5B minus 3D upon 5B minus 3D. Solving it, 5B minus 3D upon 5B minus 3D gets cancelled. What remains is K. Now RHS part, RHS is equal to 7A minus 2C upon 7B minus 2D is equal to, we will substitute the value of A and C. So we will get 7BK minus 2DK upon 7B minus 2D. As K is common, so we will take K as common. So K into 7B minus 2D upon 7B minus 2D. 7B minus 2D will get cancelled by 7B minus 2D. So what remains is K. Now LHS is equal to RHS, that is K. So therefore 5A minus 3C upon 5B minus 3D is equal to 7A minus 2C upon 7B minus 2D. Example 2. If A, B, C are in continued proportion, then show that A plus B the whole square upon AB is equal to B plus C the whole square upon BC. Solution: A, B, C are in continued proportion. Therefore, A upon B is equal to B upon C is equal to K. Finding the value of B, we will get B is equal to CK, A is equal to BK is equal to CK into K. Therefore, A is equal to CK square. Now, substituting the value of B and A in LHS and RHS. LHS is equal to A plus B the whole square upon AB is equal to CK square plus CK the whole square upon CK square into CK. As C square and K square is common, so we will take it out. C square K square into K plus 1 the whole square upon C square K cube. When we multiply the denominator, we get C square K cube. That is equal to, solving them, we get K plus 1 the whole square upon K. Now coming to the RHS part. B plus C the whole square upon BC is equal to CK plus C the whole square upon CK into C. As C square is common, so C square into K plus 1 the whole square upon C square K is equal to K plus 1 the whole square upon K. As C square gets cancelled, so what remains is K plus 1 the whole square upon K. When we see the LHS and RHS, the answer comes same. So therefore LHS is equal to RHS. Therefore A plus B the whole square upon AB is equal to B plus C the whole square upon BC. Dear children, example 3 and example 4 on page 76 is omitted. Thank you. Have a great day.